Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com. Today I wanted to tackle the topic of where exactly to place your feet on the bench. This is often a topic of confusion just because there's so many different setup styles out there, so many different ways to position your feet and bench effectively. So today I just wanted to go over the basics of where you can place your feet. Just like anything, there's no one wrong way to do this. Everyone's structure is different. Everyone's going to be developing a different technique, something they feel comfortable with. But I'm going to go over the basics of where you'd like to place your feet to get leg drive. Now, the most important thing, no matter what, is that you have a good base of support and that you can get a good leg drive wherever your feet are. So you never want your feet slipping and you never want to feel wobbly on the bench. You got to be locked into the bench, okay? So if your foot positioning isn't giving you that locked in feeling and you can't get that drive back on the bench, you can't get your legs into your press, then it's time to switch some things up. So there's two major foot positioning styles. You have feet flat out in front, which is going to be a popular one now because USAPL is really catching on, getting pretty big. I see a lot of lifters transition over that, and they don't allow the toes back style, which I'm about to talk about. So they only allow feet flat. A lot of feds only allow that. So there's that feet flat version. You can place them anywhere. It's got to be on the ground. Feet can't touch the beam of the bench. All right, so you can't be under the bench touching the beam in any of these styles. And we have the toes back. And the toes back is you're going to wiggle your feet back behind you, usually behind your butt or tucked under your butt. You can be on the balls of your feet, driving the heel down. All right? So those are your two different styles. You got the feet flat, toes back. Now, what you do with those styles is all dependent on you. Everyone's body structure is a little different, so we're going to get some variations, okay? Like I said, most important factors, base of support, and being able to drive back on the bench. All right? So I prefer, when I set up, I do a feet flat style. And I get my feet out as wide as I can. All right, I really have to work the mobility in my adductors just to be able to get out in a wider position. But this offers me a great base of support. All right, I feel stable to the bench. I can take out heavy weight. I can control it down. I feel very supported here. I can get a strong drive back on the bench. All right, a lot of people will take their feet flat and take a little bit of a closer stance. Right? And that's fine too, as long as you feel like you aren't going to move on the bench and you can drive back. What I do recommend, if you do a feet flat style, is that you just slightly turn the toe out a little bit, because usually that will result in more surface area to drive against. So you get a little bit of a stronger drive as opposed to just driving through your toes pointed forward, just getting to the balls of the feet. Okay? So try that out. Try to turn the toes out a little bit so you have a little more to push against. When you do the toes back approach, you can take two of the same approaches here. You can either tuck your toes back and keep them close to the bench. And a lot of people like to hug the bench with their thighs. So you get your setup, hugging the bench with your thighs. The toes back is very uncomfortable. Both are very uncomfortable. But the toes back, if you have tight quads, you're going to feel that strain going all the way down, okay? And the whole time you're driving the heels, right? And you're hugging the bench, driving the heels. Feet are close. If you need a bigger base of support than that, because I find if you drop the toes back and you go close, oftentimes you aren't very stable to the bench if you can't get a good hug with your thighs. In that case, you can try to go toes back but a little wider. All right, and this will just allow you a little bit more base of support here so you're not unstable on the bench, right? And then you can still get that same drive. But you aren't going to be able to hug the bench with your thighs as great. All right? So those are a couple different ways to position your feet. Two different styles. Feet flat, toes back. All right? Finding the one best for you, you have to play around with that. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. There's no wrong way to do it. Those are the two styles. You're going to have to find what works. Biggest thing, widening out if your butt starts popping off the bench, because that's going to keep your butt on the bench the wider you go. And then being able to drive back and see that momentum carry through to the bar, okay? With leg drive, you want to see, I describe it as a wave. You want to see once you start your press, you're seeing that leg drive kick in and it transfers nice and smoothly to the bar. You'll notice if there's a disconnect. If something doesn't seem right, that wave isn't going to travel through smooth, all right? That's how you know you're getting proper leg drive, when you see that momentum just carry right through into the press. All right, so those are two different styles for you. Where to place your feet, went over it with you today. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, coachben@bigbenchas.com. And I'm taking online clients right now. So go to the website, fill out the form under coaching, and I'll get back to you. I'll see you guys next time.